Dave Maney reading on this right now. Dave, first on this rate hike, not rate hike, how soon later this year. To Anthony's point that even if it were to come to pass, the effect would not be immediately damaging. Do you buy that? In other words, let's say we do have a full rate hike, that it would not be that damaging? What do you think?
I can imagine markets getting nervous about it, and that's one way to look at it. I am kind of a Main Street guy here in Colorado, and if I look at what likely effect it's going to have on the Main Street economy, I don't think that size interest rate hike is going to crush things. And unless the markets are so fragile that they just fall apart, like a crying, child.
Well, you just hit on something. The markets seem to be like babies to me. Like kids you want to slap around. Not that I would recommend it. But everyone's afraid of a tantrum. Everyone's afraid they'll go into a tizzy. So it seems like would a decision be based on keeping the markets calm? Should they be?
Well, I think they should be in some way. They've got there's a whole economic stability and employment stability thing that the Fed has. But again, I'll go back to the same analogy you and I use every time on this thing. It's like driving on black ice. You don't know where the black ice starts and where it ends. And if you tap the brakes, you don't know whether it spins or whether it's, just dry pavement there because it's dark out. So it's a little bit of a mystery. And I don't think any of us prognosticators are going to be able to call it very well.
Yeah, well, I've got you here. Donald Trump, as you might have heard, has announced that he's running for president. One of his central themes in his almost 1 hour long, largely extemporaneous address was China, saying that they have our number, Mexico has our number, and that all these countries that we are indebted to have our number, and that we're looking like fools. But particularly when it comes to China, and I thought of you coming today and all the debt that they own, we always play defense. He says essentially we're wusses, and because we're wusses, we are playing like babies. Here's exactly what he said. I want to get your reaction to it.
When was the last time anybody saw us beating, let's say, China in a trade deal? They kill us. I beat China all the time.
A lot of people say, well, that's no way to conduct foreign policy if he ever became president. But a lot of people related to that statement and the anger that was reflected in that statement. What do you think of what he is saying about China?
I think he's wrong about the idea that we're being dominated by China, but I think that he's right to think that there's a perception that there's, and as you point out, that manufacturing worker here in the U.S. feels nothing but sort of pressure and decline. I think the reality is that we're winning, if that's the right word. I don't think trade is a zero-sum game where if we win, they lose, and vice versa. That's ridiculous. It's a mutually beneficial activity. I think, however, we continue to dominate the high-end or the 21st century sort of things of technology and important healthcare and energy innovation. All of these things are where we win. Gotcha. They're taking lower wage, lower skill stuff. And so if you're one of those people working out there in a factory in suburban St. Louis, yeah, it hurts, and it hurts badly.
All right, Dave, thank you very, very much.